Hi, I'm Kasie. I'm Garrison's mom. He goes to Beacon Recovery. And recently I received a letter from Utah Department Health and Human Services saying, "Dear Medicaid member, you're getting this letter because you have Medicaid and you are enrolled with Bear River Mental Health Services as your Medicaid mental health managed care plan. Starting July 1st, BRMHS will also be your Medicaid Substance Abuse Disorder Service Management Care Plan. This means Medicaid to pay for said services, you must get these services through Bear River Mental Health Department services." I wrote a letter in regards to this because we've tried to go through their services and it didn't work. My son Garrison was 8 or 9 years old when he started going to Bear River Mental Health. My son has been in and out of Bear River for years. I couldn't count how many times he's been to Bear River Mental Health. He's been through several different therapists. He didn't mesh with any of them. He couldn't relate with them. He did not openly communicate with them at Bear River Mental Health. Yeah, in response to this letter, I wrote a letter because this enrages me that his choice is being taken from him. And anyway, I'm going to read this letter. "I am terrified of what will happen if Garrison loses the opportunity to stay with Beacon. Out of every program, therapist, and treatment center we have been through over the years, Beacon has been the only place that has truly reached him. Garrison has struggled for years. Since he was a child, he has gone through Bear River Mental Health, and he was never comfortable there. He never opened up to his therapist, never felt understood or connected. We later tried associated psychotherapy, and again, there was no connection with him and his therapist. Nothing seemed to help him feel safe enough to truly engage in treatment. Then he attended a 28-day program at Ogden Regional ACT. As his mother, one of the hardest parts for me was feeling completely excluded from his treatment. It did not feel family-oriented, and there was no real support system built around him. Within days of coming home, he relapsed. He felt defeated and believed the program had been a waste of his time. Short-term treatment programs do not create long-term sobriety. 30 days is simply not enough time for someone battling addiction to heal, rebuild their thinking, and create a stable foundation for recovery. I knew that in my heart, which is why I made the difficult decision to change our insurance from Marketplace Insurance to Medicaid. Our Marketplace Insurance would only approve 30 days, and I knew that would not be enough for him. In February, Garrison hit rock bottom and for the first time made the choice himself to seek treatment. That decision was huge. We chose Beacon, and it changed everything for him. For the first time in years, I have watched my son actually embrace therapy. He participates willingly, he talks openly, he is building relationships and accepting the help instead of resisting it. Beacon has treated him like a human being and not like another number. They have included our family, supported us, educated us, and given us the tools we never received anywhere else. This is the longest period of peace and stability we have experienced in a very long time. For the first time in years, I have watched my son actually embrace therapy. He participates willingly, he talks openly, he is building relationships and accepting help instead of resisting it. Beacon has treated him like a human being and not like another number. They have included our family, supported us, educated us, and given us the tools we never received anywhere else. This is the longest period of peace and stability we have experienced in a very long time. Before Beacon, I also tried reaching out to Bear River Health Department before he entered Ogden Regional ACT. We waited an entire month for an appointment only to be told he was not even on the schedule. They pushed him out for another 2 weeks and then canceled the appointment altogether. During moments when someone is begging for help, delays like this can be devastating. One of the last experiences we had at Bear River Mental Health still weighs heavily on my heart. At the time Garrison was not actively using, he was 6 months sober. He was doing really well. He was struggling with craving still and trying to stay on track. A therapist suggested methadone to him. And those conversations triggered thoughts that eventually led to one of the worst relapses he has ever experienced. And that moment changed the course of his recovery in the worst way. Recently, I received a letter from the Department of Human Services stating that at the beginning of July 1st, we will be enrolled into Bear River Mental Health Services and their managed care plan through Medicaid. I cannot explain the fear that went through me reading that letter. It was very emotional. While they may be wonderful in some areas of mental health treatment, From our personal experience, they are not equipped to handle addiction recovery at the level Garrison needs. I am terrified of what his future will look like if he's forced to leave Beacon and return there. Beacon has resources and support systems that go far beyond anything we have experienced before. And what amazes me the most is that they offer so many additional services and support to these patients without even billing Medicaid for them. They are the most honest and compassionate company I have ever dealt with. They genuinely care about these people and their recovery. Beacon has helped my son find hope again, which in return has given me hope again. They have helped him believe he is capable of his sobriety and a future. As his mother, I cannot do this alone anymore. I have spent years trying to hold everything together while watching addiction slowly take my son away from me. If he loses Beacon, I genuinely fear we will lose everything. I'm sorry. We will lose everything we have fought so hard for. I am heartbroken even imagining what our future will look like without them. I truly fear that I could lose my son. I am begging you to understand that this is not just another program. This is the one place that has finally worked. This is the one place where he feels safe, supported, understood, and willing to heal. Beacon has given our family something we could have... Beacon has given our family something we have not had in a very long time, and that is hope. I also want people to understand that I am not only advocating for my son. Garrison is incredibly loved. He has family supporting him, fighting for him, showing up for him, and refusing to give up no matter how hard his journey has been. But not everyone at Beacon has that. Some of these people don't have parents fighting for them. Some of them don't have safe homes to return to, support systems waiting for them, or families checking on them every day. Beacon has become that family for so many people. It has become their safety, their stability, their support system, and in so many cases, their only source of hope. I cannot imagine the hopelessness these patients will feel if they are ripped away from the one place where they finally felt safe, understood, and cared for. And the one place that believed in them when nobody else did. The one place that treated them like a human being instead of another number. For many of these people, Beacon is not just treatment, it is a real first chance that they've ever had at rebuilding their lives. That is what makes this so heartbreaking and so terrifying. They're taking our choice away because I know what Beacon has done for my son, and I know that there's countless other families and patients whose lives are being changed there too. I honestly cannot imagine what the future looks like without Beacon.
You have a son in treatment at Beacon Recovery at the moment.
Yes.
What's his first name?
Garrison.
So Garrison is in treatment at Beacon Recovery.
Yes.
They're sitting next to you. You have a copy of a few letters.
Yes.
One of those letters, I want you to paraphrase, is from who?
Utah Department of Health and Human Services.
And what did you read that letter.
Yeah.
What is that letter saying to you?
Well, it's scaring me for one because they're trying to dictate where he can go to treatment or trying to dictate the type of treatment he's getting. And the type of treatment he's getting currently at Beacon is working. So,
well, surely that's something that's happened before.
No.
Surely your son has gotten treatment that worked before. How old is he?
He's 18, almost 19.
How long has he been in getting treatment?
Treatment started the first time last year for him, September.
So did he get treatment at Bear River before?
He's been there for therapy.
Oh, therapy for...
Yes. For like mental health, like ADHD, ODD.
Yeah. And when did that therapy at Bear River start?
Probably when he was 8 or 9.
So he's been doing this for 8 or 9, 10 years,
yes,
right?
But not consistently because he never meshed with a therapist. He's probably been through 3 or 4 different therapists and he didn't open up to any of them.
Okay, so he went through treatment for his mental health issues.
Yes.
And it's been our understanding, and you as a mother, you might understand this as well, and tell me if you agree or disagree. The substance abuse disorder that he has, we believe, is a manifestation of something that's mental health.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the substances that he's going to is something that we believe is used to assist him in dealing with whatever he's dealing with from a mental health perspective.
Yes.
We're on the same page so far.
Absolutely.
Which takes me back to the first time he went to Bear River Mental Health, okay? And we're going to get to why I'm saying it that way. which is why you're so frustrated, which is why you've asked to come talk to me about this.
Yes,
Because you love your son.
very much.
And you want your son to get better from a mental health perspective. So, from the time he's 8 or 9 years old, he's going to this place that you have received a letter from the Department of Health and Human Services telling you, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Yeah, it's saying starting July 1st, BRMHS will also be your Medicaid Substance Abuse Disorder Services Managed Care Plan, which to me, they're saying like they're over his treatment and they get to dictate that. And I don't think that's fair. It's taken away the choice of the patient. And I only switched to Medicaid so he could get his long-term treatment that he needed, only to find out within the next month of getting it that they're going to dictate where he goes. And it didn't work before.
What didn't work before?
Him going to Bear River Mental Health.
Which time?
Any of the times. Like,
how many times has there been?
I have no clue. There's so many times.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're telling me that your son has been to Bear River Mental Health. I'm not going to say countless because that's a big number.
Yeah.
Right? But he's been to this place that they're now telling you that he must go to.
Right.
For his substance abuse disorder.
Yes.
Okay? But
it didn't work. I don't listen. There's a therapist there that I love a lot. She works for me, but not for substance abuse.
But how did they do for his mental health, though?
I honestly felt like we never got anywhere because he wasn't open to it. He didn't mesh with any of them.
For whatever reason, it didn't stick.
Until he came here.
What?
Until he came here. This was the first time that he's been open to it, and he's actually engaged in therapy and getting to the core of his problems.
So when you read that letter that's telling you that he has to, and by the way, and just so everybody understands what we're talking about, I'm just going to share this. That's from the Department of Health and Human Services. To this date, today, do you know today's date?
No.
It's May the what?
It's like May the 20th.
So today is May the 19th, which is today's Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Last Tuesday, we received a letter at Beacon Recovery from Bear River Mental Health. Not from Department of Health and Human Services, not from Utah Medicaid, right? Which we believe, just as a parent, what you get to know, there's something known as continuity of care. That means if we're going to do a transition, like the transition that these people are proposing, that we have to do it where it's less invasive for people like your son.
But shouldn't they have a choice in that?
They should have a choice, but that's why we're having this conversation. They should have a choice. But from my perspective, if they're going to force me to turn my folks over to them, like your son, right? They should come to me first, a year ago, and say to me, listen, we're going to do something. Now, from our perspective, it's known as a single case agreement. It's like a mini contract, single case. So every single person, and they could give me just a flat out contract altogether, but they're saying, we don't know who we're going to give those contracts to just yet. So right now, we're just going to stay with the single case agreements. Every single case, Garrison would be a single case. We're going to do a single case agreement, meaning Garrison is going to have to go over to Bear River, or Bear River is going to send a person over to here. And by the way, they sent me this letter without they're making new rules. But they also, when they sent the letter, didn't send a copy of the single case agreement, giving me the opportunity to figure out how we're going to make this transition, right? Which, by the way, we're not going to make. Just so you know, Bear River, and what you get to know is that I will finance your son's treatment out of my own pocket. When I run out of money, then I run out of money. But it's going to take a minute for me to run out of money, and I'll treat your son for free before I send him over to Bear River. That's what you get to know.
Thank you.
I've already made that determination, looked at my finances, and figured, how long can I treat these people before I'm actually forced to and run out of money, my own personal money? That's a fact.
That's powerful, because do you think that they would do that for these patients? No.
No.
And I have to add, I don't know if I can say the therapist's name that we're seeing here.
Oh, first name.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ryan. He's remarkable.
Yeah.
I have
don't wanna
been to
brag,
so
but I
many
did hire him.
therapists. Yeah, I have been to so many therapists, and
But you know what? Every therapist here is top notch.
Yes, but I have to say, like, he has really gotten through to Garrison in a way that none of the others have. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm counting right, he's been through 4 different therapists at Bear River Mental Health,
Yeah.
1 at Associated Psychotherapy, and it's not to say they're not great, but they don't mesh with him. And Ryan got
Yeah.
through the first time,
Yeah.
and Kevin's awesome.
And
Like,
let me ask you this. Out of all those places and all those times that you went to Bear River, well, I'm sorry, that Garrison went to Bear River, and Associated Psychotherapy right across town here in Brigham City, how many times were you involved?
I was involved in every time, but honestly,
So they
like-
brought you into the facilities to get treatment with your son?
No, it wasn't for, it was just therapy.
So you
Associated
got therapy-
Psychotherapy, I wasn't in the room because he was 18.
Right. What about at Bear River? Did you go get therapy over there at Bear River as well?
Yes,
So they did give you, they attempted, good for them, they did that.
yes,
That they brought you in, because that's a big thing for us here at Beacon Recovery, getting the family involved, right? So at least Bear River had the wherewithal to at least get you, or to attempt to get you involved in your son's therapy.
yes,
Got to give them kudos for that.
yeah.
That's about the only kudos I'll give them so far. But whatever happened at Bear River, it didn't stick.
No, I think the core of his problem was like ADHD and ODD and all these different diagnoses that were being left untreated.
Yeah.
And then at some point, medicine was thrown at him, not
No,
from Bear
that's what I
River
want.
Mental
Okay,
Health.
let's talk about that for a
But-
sec. So at some point, one of the brilliant scholars over there at Bear River decides to give your son what? Methadone?
It was, oh, yeah.
What was it?
This was the last time he ever went there, and I haven't even been back for myself after this. He was 6 months sober, and this just breaks my heart. He was 6 months sober, and because he was having cravings, she's like, maybe you need to go to the methadone clinic. He didn't. But he relapsed so hard. He overdosed more than once. He won't be going back there. So if we're forced to go there, I don't think I'll have him long. I'm sorry.
What do you mean won't have him long?
I think his addiction will just take over to the point like I can't save him anymore. You know, this was the first amount of peace I have felt in years, and now it's being taken.
Well, the reason we're doing this is because I want somebody else to hear what you have to say.
I'm sorry I got emotional.
What do you...
A mother is only as happy as her saddest
Wait.
child, and
No,
like,
hold on. This is your son,
yeah.
right? This is his life. When you said just a second ago, something I don't know if I'll have, what does that mean? You think he might die?
Yes, because he doesn't know how to stop himself. He doesn't know. No amount is ever enough. And I'm afraid I'm going to find him dead. And I think we were close before I got him into here. I think something bad was coming. I could feel it. And I was so grateful that he agreed to come, because after Ogden Regional, he said it just doesn't work. He's never doing it again.
Doing therapy or treatment? Or...
None of it. And he felt like one of the therapists he's seen after that just was cut and dry with him, had no empathy, you know, and understanding and why he
Yeah.
kept relapsing. It's like, I think relapse is a part of recovery. I didn't understand it at first. But
Wait. No. Relapse is a part of relapse,
Yeah,
right? Recovery is a part of recovery. It's like oil and water. Those two don't mix.
yeah,
You're in relapse or you're in recovery.
Right.
And the instant you're out of relapse, you're into recovery.
yeah,
I'm in recovery and will be in recovery for the rest of my life.
yeah,
Okay? If I relapse, right, I'll still be in recovery, but I have just relapsed from whatever it is, right? I don't agree with that concept,
Well, it wasn't my concept. It's what I've been told.
which is why we're doing things a little different at Beacon Recovery. We don't do the same thing as everybody else
Right.
does, obviously, right? But you made the statement downstairs and several times up here. And I want to know, what are your thoughts about your choice being taken away, your opportunity to choose?
It's not fair. Like,
What? Not so much where your son gets treatment, because Bear River isn't saying that, from what I'm able to understand from that letter and the one that they sent to me, they're not saying that people cannot come to Beacon Recovery to get treatment. What they're saying is that they will determine what type of treatment people get when they come to Beacon
I would like to
Recovery.
know their numbers and success rates, because honestly, I don't think that it works. Like, it doesn't work for
So-
everyone. Like, what
Yeah.
this is working. So why change it? It's not broken. And I'm getting
Well,
very upset because
I
I
know.
just think I can't even say what I'm thinking.
Oh, yes, you can.
No, I can't.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you can. Tell me.
It's bullshit. Like, seriously.
Say it again.
It's bullshit. Like,
No, one more time. I want to hear you say it again, like you mean it this time.
it's bullshit, for real.
What is
I'm so
bullshit?
angry. I'm so angry that they think that they can just do this because these people are on Medicaid. Are we trying to keep them sick? Or are we trying to make them better? So why change something that's not broken?
So you get to know that's what you're talking about right now is what I have been screaming from the rooftops for. Anybody, somebody, ask me, how is it that you have a 30% recidivism rate? Now what that means is we have a 70% success rate. 70% of the people that graduate this program do not relapse. I have been begging senators. I've been to both Senator Lee, Senator Curtis. I've been to Tom Peterson, my local representative. I've been to Medicaid. I've tried to get a hold of Judge Maynard, the drug court, who, by the way, you may be interested to know, if your son was in his court, he would be forcing people to go to Bear River Mental Health.
Yeah.
If your son was in the jail, the sheriff over there would be forcing people to go to Bear River Mental Health. And the interesting thing for me is it's Bear River Mental Health. Come July 1st, they finally have a license to do substance abuse disorder, right? But in the entire time,
What's their qualifications?
they
though?
have no qualifications right now. Well, they didn't the entire time that the jail is making people. And I went to the jail and I said, listen, can you at least give them a piece of paper? The choice that you're talking about? Give them a piece of paper with their name on it and my name on it and say you can choose where you go. Can't do that, the jail people say. Mr. Reiser.
Why? Who's paying them?
Who's paying who?
Yeah, who's paying the? Okay, so like, how does it benefit them to just say Bear River Mental Health? So that's the
I've asked
question.
that question myself multiple times. What the hell is happening here? Why, Judge Maynard, are you making people go to this facility? And I even went to the Judiciary Committee here in the state of Utah. This is a group of judges, and I even said to these judges in my request, right, let them choose. But people from that drug court are being forced to go
You want
to...
to know the difference? You don't see them as druggies as they're seeing them. You don't see them as another number as they see them. And so they don't get a choice. They don't deserve a choice because they're
Yeah.
addicts in their mind.
That's it.
And so there's the difference between you actually caring and helping and healing the root problem and them just putting a Band-Aid on it.
No.
Oh, here's some methadone. Here's some Suboxone. Yeah, you're going to have 30% success rates because when they come off of that stuff, they're going to be craving it more. Or
There we go.
their drug of choice.
And it's almost like they want them to take that shit for the rest of their life. That's what I think they want. Because at the end of the day, I'm about human beings and souls.
Yeah.
I am about teaching people how to come back to the light.
Yes.
I am about teaching people how to figure out a way to get out of that cesspool of darkness and over into the light of Jesus Christ. That's a fact, okay? Because at the end of the day, what I believe is that we have a God.
Absolutely.
And that God wants us, you and I, to be happy. So much so, he sent his son, Jesus Christ, down here to take everything on for us. I often say to people that we have everything because of Jesus Christ, and we are nothing without him,
I couldn't agree more.
right? But they don't do that over there. What they do is, I really don't know what they do, actually.
I'll tell you what they do.
Tell me what they do.
How was your day? and then just like questions instead of like giving you solutions like, okay, do this.
Practice this, practice that.
Yes. There's none of that. I just feel like you're going to visit. You're just going to talk.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You know some of the things we do here,
Yes.
right? What you probably don't know because your son lives with you is we have 3 sober livings. And by the way, here's one for you. That letter that they sent to you, which by the way, Medicaid and Department of Health and Human Services has yet to say anything to me. I have went to both of those organizations and said, what's going on? No, nothing. So they sent you something. Now, there's something about continuity of care that I spoke about before. What they should have done was send something to me and prepared me so I could then go to people like your son and you and say, this is what we're about to happen, so we can ease the blow. They're not saying anything to me.
And you know what that does? That just gives them, they're ripping the carpet out from under these people, their safety, their security, their sobriety.
Yeah.
And they're making the choice for them.
Yep.
And then a lot of these people are going to relapse. If you take away Beacon
here's
and
the thing.
their
When
family.
they do that, I have 3 sober livings. I think we have 24 people living in 3 different houses. With a swipe of the pen, they're suggesting that these people are going to be homeless. Or they may decide to take those sober livings over. Oh, although they can't because I've rented 3 homes in my own name.
They've actually done it to a different place in Weber County.
Done what?
They bought them out.
Yeah, well,
Just
they're
so
not
they
going to
could
buy
take
me out.
over. Not Bear River Mental Health, but I think I can
Yeah.
see a trend going.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, wrapping up then, you're suggesting then that you don't want to have your son be forced. Well, I'm not going to put words in your mouth. What do you want to happen from this?
I don't want them to choose his care. Like, if they don't want to pay for it, I'll choose different insurance. Like, I will figure it out. I only went with Medicaid because Marketplace did not want to cover more than 30 days. 30 days isn't enough for anyone. And so...
And see so what she's touching on right now is another beef that I have with the insurance industry. They are dictating, right, how people get treatment. They are suggesting, because they know better, the insurance companies that is, that 30 days is all your son deserves to get. And if he doesn't get his act together in 30 days of treatment, well, then that's not their problem.
Who can heal in 30 days?
Welcome
Whether
to
it's
the party.
substance abuse or trauma. Like,
100%. Then, so you decide, because we come here and we're like, okay, 30 days doesn't work for us either. The average length of time for treatment at this facility in an outpatient realm is a year. That's the
why your
average.
numbers are 70%, not
100%.
30.
That's why I have a 70% success rate. But that's what I was going to ask you. Okay, I'm going to go down a couple things, right? And see if you know if they do these things over Bear River. First of all, we already know that they do not have any sober livings. They have no safe places for them to live. They might have something in Logan, but that's not going to do you any good because you don't live in Logan, which is 40 miles that way, right?
Right.
Okay. So, does Bear River, to your knowledge, allow a therapist to see your son 3 or 4 times a week?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Yeah. Well, reports that we've received is you see a mental health therapist once every 2 weeks over there.
Yes.
That's
if
what-
your appointment doesn't get canceled and
Okay.
rescheduled,
If
which
there's-
happens frequently.
Oh, well, okay. There you go. Okay. So, therapy once every 2 weeks, unless your appointment gets canceled, which it might get canceled. Okay. At Beacon Recovery, it's 3 to 4 times per week with 2 different therapists. Neurofeedback. Do you know your son's getting neurofeedback here?
Absolutely not.
Do they do that
I knew that it's happening here, but it doesn't happen over there.
Doesn't happen. Okay.
No.
Do they do any case management? In other words,
I think
somebody's
they
going
do
to
have case managers, but I never received case management. It was an option.
Well, it's actually, my understanding is the case manager is to go over meds, which is what you probably had a case manager tell your son to get on.
He had
whatever-
a doctor that was giving him his meds.
the poison that they want. Okay.
Yeah.
So peer support,
No.
okay? Individual or group. Case
No.
management, individual or group. We do both of those
They
things
do
here.
offer groups, but he was
Oh.
never open to going to them.
Yeah, well, so you get to know that at Beacon Recovery, in most facilities, like Bear River, the people spend 95% of their time in the group. At Beacon Recovery, our folks spend 90 to 95% of the time in individual sessions.
I will tell you,
It's the opposite.
when I tried to get a hold of the health department initially to reach out for their resources, they were no help. Like, if it would have been up to,
You mean- well,
like,
what-
I couldn't get into him for a month minimum.
You're talking about the very organization that's now sending you a letter.
Yes. So we're going to make these people wait a month when they're reaching out for help. Do you know how hard that is for them to reach out for help? Like,
And now they're telling you have to go over there.
now they're saying you have to go there.
When where were they when you, is that what you're saying?
Yes. And the appointment time came. Oh, we don't even have them on our schedule. And then
And too bad
you
for
schedule
you.
again, and then it gets canceled.
Yeah. And now
It's
they're
like-
saying you have to come over here. That you have to do that now.
I think we're trying to keep people sick is what we're trying to do. We're not trying to heal them. We're not trying to help them.
Just to
through
make sure
this.
we're clear, when you say we, you're talking about them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We, as in the Utah Department of Health and Human Services. Not we.
Yeah. I knew what you meant. I'm just making
Yes.
sure that everybody knew
I'm just saying, like,
it's bullshit.
are we looking to help people, or are we looking to keep them sick and bring more money to them? Like, are we just trying to make them more money? So
Yes.
let's keep them sick. Let's keep them coming.
And when they're sick, although we're saying we want to help you, and you know what? Look, I'm sure that and you mentioned there's a therapist over at Bear River Mental Health.
That I love very much. She was
That is
great
a
for
great
me.
therapist,
But I
right?
didn't have addiction
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah, well, we're not talking about addiction problems
Yeah.
because right now what they're talking about is not being able to treat addiction problems until July. That's what this is for. Come July, your substance abuse disorder treatment is going to happen with us. But see, from your perspective, I have to wonder, let's see, he was going to them when he needed his mental health problems.
Yeah.
And based on what you share with me, I don't think they've been terribly successful with his mental health.
No.
So you have to be thinking
Which
as a
led-
mother, if they had zero success with him in reference to his mental health, how are they going to be doing anything better with substance abuse?
Right.
Right?
I think it has to be each individual person's choice on
Yes.
who they're going to go to as a therapist. Like,
So,
if you're forcing
yeah.
a certain therapist on someone and they don't mesh with
Yeah.
them, they're not going to get better. They're just,
Yeah.
they're
Well,
not.
and for me though, as a parent, you should be able, if this is the first time that you've decided with your son to get treatment, I'm under the impression or perspective that you should be able to say, okay, this sounds real good at Bear River. Okay, I can go over there. Right? Then you get over there and you realize, this isn't the one for me. I want to go to Beacon. Or you can come to Beacon and say, Beacon's not the one for me. I want to go to Bear River. We have to be able to, this is not Nazi Germany.
Right.
We should be able to choose where we get our treatment, and that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
That's not what's been happening in Judge Maynard's drug court. That's the part that's been infuriating to me. People are going from a drug court. They have a substance abuse disorder. That's why they're in a drug court. He has been forcing people to go to that place who wasn't licensed to treat substance abuse disorder.
And then they reoffend, and we wonder why.
And we wonder why they're not getting better. And what just infuriates me is I drew it to his attention, the judge. And when I did, he kicked me out of it. I can't go into his courtroom. He won't even let me in the courthouse. Because what we were doing was sitting in his courtroom to be a resource for his court to make people better. Then he would say to somebody like your son, because they were having a drug problem, I'm ordering you to get an assessment from a qualified facility. At that moment, my staff would stand up, leave the courtroom, and wait for that person in the lobby. Then, when they got done talking to their probation officer or their lawyer, we would then say, the judge just ordered you to get an assessment from a qualified place. Do you have Medicaid? 65-75% of those folks didn't have Medicaid. They have no way of paying for this stuff. Bear River, when they go over to that place, is going to charge them. Okay, that's what they're going to do. Because we've gotten reports that's what they've done. But what we
I thought they were Medicaid only.
They are, but they're nonprofit.
Oh,
And they have been charging people for things.
that's illegal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. Yeah, I know people that still owe them money. But we would say this to these people: we can get you an assessment, it won't cost you anything. You don't have Medicaid, we can assist you with getting on Medicaid so you can get the treatment that the judge just ordered you to get without having to pay for it. We'll get Medicaid to pay for it because that's what Medicaid's for. Okay? But then when I started telling people publicly that the judge was forcing people to go to a place that wasn't licensed, he kicked my staff out of his courtroom, and he kicked my staff out of his courthouse. We can't even go into the courthouse anymore. All I did was tell the truth. There's got to be a law against that as well, right?
Yes.
Last time I checked, a courtroom was a public venue, right? So you're frustrated. I'm frustrated as well.
You're being silenced.
No,
In
I'm
the
actually,
sense of, like,
well,
they didn't want you to say that they weren't licensed, like.
yeah, well, I'm not being silenced. They will never silence me until they kill me. That's the only way they're going to silence me is when I'm dead. Really. Then I'll be silenced. And I don't even think then I'm going to be silenced. I think I'm still going to be chirping, right? Fighting for people like you and your son.
Thank you.
Because they're not fighting for your son. They don't give...
No, they never checked in after they
No.
didn't.
Oh, speaking of checking in, here's what you get to know, right? Is that when your son graduates this program, we will be in contact with him for the rest of his life. Checking
That's
in with
powerful.
him. Okay? Forever. Okay? You mentioned a minute ago, what are their numbers? They have no idea what their numbers are. I can prove my success of 70%, right? All I'm wanting somebody out there to do, anybody, ask me, how did you do that? I think that your son's life, every other patient's life, warrants taking just a few minutes to see if this guy's full of shit. I don't believe you're getting a 70% success rate. Prove it to me, right? And that's the part that frustrates me with these people, okay? And I use that term loosely because a real person wouldn't be jacking with somebody else's life to this capacity, right?
Yeah.
But it blows me away. How come none of you, and I've asked many politicians, and I've shared with many politicians what that judge is doing, what Bear River is doing, that they're taking people in that deserve an HIOP level of care, the 2.5 from the ASAM. It's the highest level we can offer. They offer currently an IOP level of care. They don't even offer the highest level of care available. And now they're telling people, come July 1st, because we're finally going to get our license, we're going to make you come to get treatment from us. Mind-boggling.
And they're going to be so slammed with people because they're the only place that's going to be allowed to see these people. How are they going to give them the level of care they need?
When they couldn't give the level of care when they weren't slammed.
Right.
Things that make you go, huh? Yeah, got it. Anything else you want to share?
No, I'm just heartbroken if they go through with this.
Well, wait. Here's the thing. Don't be heartbroken. They won't go through with this. We're not going to let them. And you standing up and raising your voice right now is going to assist us in making sure that they don't get away with this.
Thank you.
We're going to fight. And once again, I'll treat people for free till I run out of money. But what I won't do is send Garrison or any other patient to these knuckleheads for whatever it is that they're calling treatment. It's not going to happen. I
Thank
will
you.
give up. I'll give up everything I have financially to treat this population as long as I can. But I got to tell you, it's not going to happen, right? We're going to have faith.
I have faith.
We're going to have faith.
You've got this.
God-
Satan works hardest on God's biggest plans. So.
Say that again?
Satan works hardest on God's biggest plans. And so,
That's
like,
perfect.
when you're really going through something like this, you
Yeah.
can tell you're doing the right thing.
If you're not pissing people off, you're not
Yeah.
doing it right. Right? And I'm pissing them off. Right? And we got this. So it's going to be okay. It's a little bit unnerving what we know that they're trying to do, what they're attempting to do, but we're not going to let them do it. Let's see what happens.
Just don't take people's choice away. Some people will choose to go there, and it might work great for them.
Well,
but
you know what?
don't
Here's
take
who's
their
going to try.
choice.
You're right. There are people right now that are in that facility that are using heroin every single day.
Yes.
That's happening over there,
Yeah.
right? That shouldn't be happening. If somebody's using heroin every single day, they should be in a detox in a
Yes.
residential, not in an IOP level of care.
Right.
Right? So yes, there are people that don't want to get past their addictions,
They're
that are
just
on
there 'cause they
probation.
gotta be.
They're on probation, and the judge is telling them to get treatment, right? But they have no desire to quit using drugs. So those people will go there because they continue to get high, go there high, right? There's zero or
And
very
they'll
little.
keep seeing them.
Huh?
They'll keep seeing them
Yes.
because they're getting a
because
paycheck.
yes, 100%. Instead of sending them to a detox in a residential, which is what they're supposed to. Okay? Okay. Anything else before we sign off?
No, thank you for everything.
Okay.
Yeah.